Man, it's been a crazy week. But I had a lot of time to think about a few things. And Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish got a movie coming out called Night School. So it got me to thinking, like, I know, like, somewhere in the world there's a such thing as people going to school at night. But it just made me think, like, what if that was the normal thing to do instead of daytime? Would that be better off for people? Or would it be worse? You know how you always hear some people say, man, I'm a night owl, man. I got to be out at night and I got to do this and do that. But imagine if you had to do school at night. That would change like a whole lot of stuff. It'd change like football games, the way practice works. Or would you just have to go like in the morning and then go to school at night? That's kind of backwards. I don't know. Night school. Maybe that would be something cool. Dear Love, episode 26. So I was the type that was pretty bad at doing homework and showing up to class on time. I always wanted to be late. So like I like hang out in the hallway. Wasn't like that, didn't that seem like the thing to do in school? Like being on time was kind of like whack. You always wanted to be late for class because it showed that you were cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this bell to go off and then I'll walk into class late. Well, that's what I thought was cool until I flunked and failed the class. And then everybody who went on time was moving on. And I was still thinking it was cool to be late going to class. I got that together real quick. You learn to really like study and do the right thing when you're like in the 11th grade taking a ninth grade math class. Yeah, that was me, the older guy in the class who thought he was cooler than everybody. Well, you should be cool. You're older than everybody in here. Well, at least that's what I thought people would say, or that's what they were thinking. You come in there thinking you the freshest thing since sliced bread, and everybody in here 11 years old, you 25. Who wouldn't think you were cool at the moment? I had a poetry teacher. I used to love that class. That was like the only class I really was interested in. And I used to go there late. So, I mean, no other class had a chance of getting me on time if that one got me late. But what if after all of the failing and not coming on time, they finally hit you with night school? Since you can't seem to get up in the morning and get to school on time, we're going to give you night school to go to. Now, originally, I would think like night school sound cool. You know what I'm saying? You could chill during the day. Because that'd be the worst thing. Why you think kids skip school? It's like everything be happening. You got people kicking it. You got, well, at the time, everybody riding down the street playing loud music. Got their rims on their cars. All type of stuff like that. So I would personally think night school would be a better feel for some people. But then you got to factor in what teacher going to want to teach all night. And then what's the hours? So if we chill all day, you figure school is from like 8 to, well, when I was going to school, it was like 8 to 2:36, I believe. And then from 2:36 to like 3:30 was special help. So now what would special help be? And then what's the perfect time to go to school? Again, I know it's some night school around the world, I'm sure. Then you got to factor in like the Chinese and all of them. They go to school all year round. So imagine if you had to do night school all year round. Can you imagine going to school for 12, 13 years? You graduate, then got to go to college another 12 or 13? Ugh. But anyway, off subject. So back to the night school thing. What type of, like, what would the feel be like going to school at night? Would you feel like you need to get fresh? When we go to school now, 8 in the morning, all that, we gotta have like, some nice shoes on, nice clothes, something like that. So that'd be like a cool thing to do during the daytime. And hell, I knew girls who went to school in the morning still in their pajamas. So I could just imagine what they'll wear going to night school. Like, what would you wear? Would Is it right to put on your night clothes? I mean, it is night school. And then will we have the problem of falling asleep in class still? Or would you treat it like a job, get some sleep during the day and say, shit, I gotta go ahead and put these 8 hours in, man. I'm working 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. and it's school. So then you gotta factor in bus stops, the RTA. Is it running at that time? Or will we just go with the whole Uber thing? And for the record, 6 to 3 is not 8 hours, it's actually 9. Yeah. Didn't I tell you I wasn't on time to math class? It wasn't a joke. But Ubering to school would be weird. Now, I'm just really sitting back. That just amazes me if I really had to do that. Like, what classes would I have to take? How would gym be? What about swimming? And what about recess? Usually you go outside for recess. So would that be inside now? I mean, it is a lot of crazy shit that happened at night. Then what if, like, deers is out, cats and dogs, and it ain't that much light. So now you gotta turn on the lights. So now we burning more electricity for the outside, like stadium type lights. It just would be weird because in gym you do little stuff like track and field and stuff like that. And how would you do that at night school? I think to do night school, it would have to be one school specifically, and it would have to be built like the X-Men mansion, like what's it called, the Mutant Academy. It'd have to be something like that where everything's inside. You don't have to worry about ever going outside. And you would have to have a casino in there because a lot of people like to gamble. I mean, that's how you would get people to come to school for real. You want to come to school and you can make some money? How about you build a school with a casino in it? And now people could do the casino for credits. Hell, they don't want to go to class no way. You might as well teach people at this night school the stuff that they want to do and that they going to use in their everyday life. See, we try to teach people what we feel like you should know. Math and science and all of this other shit that you probably won't never ever use. You know how many people say, man, I went there and did that for nothing? Or people who go to college and get all these degrees and then don't even use the degree that they spent 35 years in school for. So I think you should be able to pick a course or like pick the route you're trying to go. If you want to be a drug dealer, put drug dealer down for the course. Hell, if you want to be a prostitute, you can put that down too. Put down whatever you like at this school. And it should be it should be a certain class, a certain teacher, and they teach you those type of things. Like I said, if you're going to be a prostitute, then math should be a good class that you take. Somebody might try to short you on money. You can teach them how to check for fake money, stuff like that. And it ain't just against the women, men too. Hey, if you want to be a prostitute, hey, come on in. This is the class for that. If you want to be a drug dealer, science class would be the perfect class for you. Tell them, have shows like Snowfall playing, had a Scarface movie playing. Have what's the one show? The Wire. Have all of the little crazy shows, Power. Have all these shows playing. And y'all cook up some shit in class. Put on your little goggles. Had that one show. What's the show called? Damn. With the older guy. The name of that show. Oh yeah, Breaking Bad. That's what it's called. So yeah, have Breaking Bad playing in the classroom. Hell, see how much it costs to get him to teach the class. I know he was acting, but come on now. Some of these actors be kind of, practicing stuff in real life for the part. So he could probably actually teach you how to do that shit the right way. And obviously he had the plan. I mean, look how much money he ended up with. Oh yeah, but he died in the show. Scratch that. He can't teach you anything. He's not here. But I'm telling you, build a school with different stuff. Okay, if you want to be a police officer, track and field would be great. Niggas like to run. I ain't going back to jail, Ghost. I ain't going back to jail, Tariq. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think. That would be the perfect thing to do. Instead of having people go to like high school and then got to pay for college and do all of that stuff, man, we could do all this in one school. We can get it over with. Because you got to think, we go to school from the time where, hell, what, 4? Let's say 4 or 5, all the way until like 17, 18. Think about it. You wouldn't even need college. Because you figure about it, by the time you're 12 or 13, you should most likely know what you want to be. I'm guessing. But all of those years, why would you even have to consider college when if you was at this, well, this is night school, but if you was at this night school and it's teaching you everything you need to know. And of course, to go to the school, you would have to pay a tuition. So I guess it would be like a college type thing, but it'll still teach you everything that you need to know. And then maybe we would take it serious. And like I said, we wouldn't, oh man, I ain't going to school, I'm about to skip class. No, you're not going to skip class because you want to be a drug dealer for the rest of your life. Do it. No, I'm lying. Don't do that. We don't want to promote that type of stuff, but we'll promote the police part. Well, I don't really want to promote that either. Listen, whatever you want to be in your life, you know what you want to be in your head. So again, if we could just focus on that our whole life, some people want to be wrestlers. Some people want to be stars. Look at Alicia Keys, was playing the piano since she was young. And I mean, you know what you want to do at a young age, and you go for it. And this night school would be perfect. And then, like I said, and if all else fails, go to the casino. And then you make it where to go to the casino, you got to have a certain amount of credits to even get in. But remember, you could gamble your credits too. Now, if you lose your credits, you can't come back. But imagine gambling all of your credits that you earned over all the years. That would be crazy. So when you run out of money, you can say, hey, man, listen, I gambled my whole senior year, man. You could have my senior year if you get this. No, but I really do think night school would be a great idea. And again, just based off of, the movie coming out, it just made me think of different things that could kind of help us benefit from a night school. I think it'd be a little bit better. I think people would pay more attention. It wouldn't be so much about fashion. Because again, it's nighttime. Who gonna see your little glittery shoes at night? Then you can get away with just wearing a white tee or whatever you want to wear to school. And you probably won't even get picked on as much because people actually in class learning something. And I think it'll bring down all the killings. I mean, not saying you only get killed at night, but hell, if everybody into school and doing something that they love, we won't have time for none of that hate and all of that crazy shit. Again, that's what I think. That's how I see it. It's a start. Maybe some people need to get together, including myself, and put some shit together, and we can make it happen for the future. Dear love, T. Shaw, I'm out of here.